All right, well, it finally happened. I'm getting the same diarrhea that many carnivores talk about that they don't enjoy, but it comes eventually. Um, I thought I was not going to get it because I thought that maybe I've been through carnivore before and whatever takes place to create all of that bathroom time had already gone through, but then I did. And I also thought, because today's day 10, or no, today's day 11, I'm 10 days through. And so I thought that, it usually happens in the first few days or something like that. I must have been misguided or something, because yesterday was the day that it started. And it's, you know, not to get too detailed, but it woke me up in the middle of the night while I was trying to sleep. So it's there and prevalent. So I am interested, especially now that I'm going through this, I'm paying a little more attention as I'm creating content as well. I'm wanting to pay a little bit more attention to why this is and what should we do about it. And so if you're thinking the same thing, we're going to get down to it. And I don't have any references of like doctors or websites or anything. I often use my new best friend, ChatGPT, to help me with some of these answers. And when I asked ChatGPT, I said, hey, I'm on day 10, I have diarrhea. Why is this? Chat says, totally normal. And you're right on schedule. Right on schedule. I thought it was earlier. It says most carnivore beginners hit this diarrhea day somewhere between 7 to 14 days. It doesn't mean anything is wrong. It's actually one of the classic adjustment phases your gut goes through. So let me break it down exactly why this happens. So I won't read all in detail, but there's three main reasons that it gives. It says your gallbladder plus your liver are adjusting to the high fat. I guess like needing to make more bile to process the fat. So I guess it's like a sign of becoming more fat adapted. It says one of your meals likely had liquid fat. So if like you eat ground beef and all of the fat from the ground beef is now liquefied and now you ingest a bunch of that, it could be really hard for your body to process at one time. Also, your gut bacteria are still shifting. It says it takes 10 to 14 days for your digestive system to reduce fiber dependency and stuff of that nature. During this transition, many people feel diarrhea, constipation, waves of both, weird smells, and randomness and timing. Apparently, it's all 100% normal. Wow. I guess it also has to do with protein in your digestive system and stuff. That's way too sciencey for me. I'm not that sciencey. By the way, I just want to take a moment to pause and say thank you. I'm home and I'm back in my normal space. So makes me feel normal. I like having the better lighting and stuff. So, all right, back to what to do today. This worksheet, it says this is what you should do now that you have this diarrhea. What should you do? It says eat leaner carnivore foods for the next 24 hours or so. This is just temporarily. It says sirloin steak, chuck roast, which is perfect because I was already planning to make a chuck roast today. Eggs, which is something I eat every day, and chicken thighs if you want variety. I learned earlier that I don't really care for, I like chicken thighs, they taste good, but there's something about them compared to beef that I really just don't care for. I would prefer to have a tough steak than eat chicken thighs, but that's just me. It says avoid things like ground beef, brisket fat, added butter and tallow, bacon grease, and such. Another thing you should do is increase electrolytes slightly. So have a little bit more electrolytes. I know you're probably, especially if you're really new, you may feel like you're overdoing it with the electrolytes. But this is how it describes having electrolytes. This is 1 cup of warm water with half a teaspoon of salt, and then you sip it. I'm not doing that. I'm having coffee, which is the nectar of the gods. And by gods, I mean God, Jesus. I, I don't think it talks about coffee enough in the Bible, but it should talk about it a lot more. My wife often references Hebrews as like a command for me to brew coffee. All right. Avoid dairy, which I've been doing already because I feel like dairy tempts me to eat more when I don't really need to. Like if I had hamburger patties and it was just by itself, I would eat hamburger patties until I was full or it didn't taste good anymore. But if I had hamburger patties with melted cheese on top of it, I would probably eat more because the cheese tastes so good. Or dipping things in sour cream or whatever. I mean, it's not bad for you, but right now my goal is to drop weight as fast as I can because I feel like I'm at a weight that is probably unhealthy and I want to get healthy before I start allowing pleasure. And I think that, quite a bit of weight can be lost pretty fast, especially with this diet. So avoid dairy. This actually just says avoid dairy for a couple of days. It says avoid dairy for today. Cheese, sour cream, any dairy can worsen loose stool during adaptation. Since your body is still adjusting, remove dairy for 24 to 48 hours. It helps your gut calm down. So there's that. It says hydrate normally, not excessively. I think we talked about this in the last video where I talked about my 1 week symptoms. Because a lot of people overcompensate and chug water. Too much water dilutes electrolytes, which worsens your diarrhea. Just drink normally, add some salt. And not just table salt. I don't know enough about the science to say that iodized salt is bad. I think you need iodine in your body and you don't get very much of it from other sources. So I think a little bit of iodine is okay, but heck if I know. I'd have to ask my friend again or watch a bunch of YouTube videos to find out from some doctors. It also says don't stop the diet. This is a temporary phase, and most people improve dramatically by day 12 to 14. So it's telling me I got a few more days of this. And it doesn't even say it's going to go away. It says it's going to improve dramatically, not actually go away dramatically. Cool. I don't know how accurate this stuff is. If you want to prevent this from happening again, do these for the next week. Don't eat large amounts of rendered fat or liquid fat. Limit your dairy until day 21. Add eggs daily and slow cook meats so the fat stays inside the fibers. Chuck roast is actually perfect for stable digestion, which I've actually been doing some research on, like the best foods for a carnivore, and it tends to be a little bit more lion diet-ish. It's a lot more beef and a lot more of the fatty stuff, and some of the best cuts that are the cheapest are stuff like the chuck roast. And if you can make like a ribeye or a chuck eye steak or a chuck roast, or maybe even got like the Denver steak and things of that nature. And I've seen some videos where people do what's called a whole chuck roll, where they get all kinds of different cuts of meat, including the chuck eye, Denver steak, the chuck roast, and such. I'm not a professional meat person. I mean, I like meat and I eat it. I'm on a diet that eats a lot of meat, but I think my point there was, yeah, I'm going to eat more of the chuck roast. Would probably be like a bigger staple in my diet rather than as much ground beef as I've had in the past. Also, when I do the ground beef lately, I'll get the frozen hamburger patties and I will put them in the air fryer. I think it's like 6 minutes for each. Like you put it every 6 minutes, flip it, do another 6 minutes, and it's like perfect. I think at like 380. I think that was the temp that it says on the bag, but it's pretty good. And I think because it's not all the fat drains out, the fat that's left in there is not that bad. Anyways, side story. Back to the tips. It says red flags. Only if these happen. Usually they don't. So these would be things you want to watch out for. Maybe stop doing the diet if you start experiencing these things. Or at least maybe see a doctor. This is if you get a fever, severe cramping, blood, dehydration, or non-stop diarrhea lasting for more than 48 hours. I think the more than 48 hours might be something you can maybe deal with, but I think the non-stop thing is the part that is the articulated thing. There's the non-stop diarrhea. It says, but 99% of the time on day 10, this is just fat adaptation phase. So, yeah, I thought I would not make another carnivore video as fast, but because I've had this shocking symptom show up just a couple of days after I just did a 1 week symptoms of the carnivore diet, I figured I did say on that video that I hadn't experienced any diarrhea yet, so now it happened, and so it's on my mind because I can't stop making sure that I'm near a bathroom so that I can, take care of business. All right, so if you like this kind of video, this talking head, just random talking, having coffee with me, then you might like this channel, and I encourage you to subscribe. I talk about everything from parenting, my life experiences as a child or a military person. I talk about Christianity. I talk about it's about me and my life and the experiences and lessons that I've learned while I have coffee first thing in the morning. So if that's something you're into, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. I didn't even say that I talk about the carnivore diet, but I think you get the point, right? All right.